Hello everybody, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I'm Peggy here. We're going to be doing helping you say yes to the deck. So we have a couple guests coming on. We're going to help them pick decks that they're going to buy. Yep. Not me.
We're spending other people's money.
Yeah. We're filming this intro after we filmed those, so it's a little weird. So if we look different and all that stuff, that's why. Also, while you're here, don't forget to click the like button, subscribe, do all the YouTube-y things like Peggy always says.
Yeah, like, subscribe, click the bell.
Bruno really wants you to push the buttons.
It's a couple of quick clicks, and it's the best way to help the channel.
It's true. So if you want to see other people picking out their deck they're going to buy.
Don't forget to comment. That's fun. We'd like to see what you guys think of this
stuff. Comment. So we're going to...
Especially this one because it's bad.
Without further ado, let's get into helping our guests pick their decks. Hello, Stevie.
Hello, Stevie.
Welcome to the channel.
I'm so excited to be here.
We get to spend your money today.
Not Lisa's money today.
My favorite thing ever. Peggy's favorite thing too, because I'm not spending.
My favorite thing is you not spending money. Yeah. So
yes, like, she won't be upside to having all the decks that I want.
Exactly.
That's true. Yeah, because she's got all of them.
Yeah.
It's your fault. I want these.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of like on this list of like.
She's not going to be helpful.
I'm not going to be helpful. Everything on Stevie's list I love. So good luck. May the odds be ever in your favor. Narrowing it down. I don't know. So, I guess I'll let you start.
Which deck do you want to start with?
I don't mind. Whichever one you bring up first.
Oh no, it's up for us. Do you even know what this is?
No. This might hurt.
That was so good.
Because you told me.
Yeah, you remembered. That's the important bit.
Because you told me 5 seconds ago. Good luck with the rest.
Are we going to look at the cards first or the website first? What do you want to do?
I don't care. I'm just getting it out of the. I'm just getting it out of the bag for you.
I think this is really handy because I can show lots of images.
Yeah. I rewatched the This Might Hurt video just before coming on because I knew I liked it, but I couldn't remember why. But yeah.
This is that's what it's my job. I'm supposed to show cards.
I thought you were going to show the website.
I asked you and you had no opinion. I said, do you want the website?
Show the website.
Okay.
This is going to be Lisa. This is going to be Lisa acting like she's 5.
No. Okay, let me pull it up.
Like 5-year-old Lisa. She's fun.
That's right. You don't get to play with the cards if we're looking at the website first. That's not fair. Okay.
All right, then.
Wait, is it up? Oh, okay. Yeah, let me change the view. Hold on one second.
Okay, so the first question I'm going to ask is about the price. So how much is that one?
I can't remember.
Me too. Where's the actual shop spot?
Look under order.
Order? Oh, it opened in a new tab. No, that messes me up.
That's okay. That's okay. Just go to the price.
It's $45 US. I have no idea what the international shipping will be.
Yeah, that's right. Because there's actually This Might Hurt have a shop over here that sells for them. So there's one in the EU that sells for them as well. So that's quite good. So it's all of these are in my budget.
How do I get it in the focus?
Well, so basically you already answered my first question.
I don't know how to get it.
I know Peggy's questions. I've watched enough of these.
Okay, so this particular deck. So what do you like about the deck? Is it?
I like that this one's really diverse. It's gender. There's a lot of gender neutrality, and it's body diverse as well. It's not body beautiful. I love the colors, and the fact is it's a really modern deck. Like the chariot is a woman standing on 2 motorcycles. That's just amazing.
Oh, okay, okay, and. Yeah, so we're probably not generally speaking. I don't usually have. Lisa might have things to say because she loves all these decks, but
so much.
So when we start to get comparing, that things will happen. Now, do you have anything in your collection? Do you collect or do you use every deck that you get? You collect?
I use them all, but I do collect them.
Okay,
I do use them, but I think I actually went through them, and I think the closest I have to this, and it's not even really close, is the Luna Sol. Okay. And I'm thinking that's more just in the color scheme. It's quite
soft.
Yeah, it's a really soft palette, and it's quite this way. They're not body beautiful, and they're not traditionally.
It's not all full of fashion week extras and stuff.
That's such a good way. Yeah, I have both. so to me they don't compete. But I like having several decks like this, so I can see how they kind of correlate and are similar.
Yeah.
So that's the most modern / diverse you probably have right now.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that will be yes. Yes.
Okay. So
pretty. This is my favorite deck of all time for like all rounder. Like this is
that's not about you.
I'm no help at all.
It's not about you. Okay, so the deck that you have right now, you use it a lot then?
I use it.
Okay. More or less than your other decks?
I tend to do I use a deck for a week and then I'll just eeny, meeny, miny, mo it, and then
that's how I do it kind of most of the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
unless it's in a season, then I tend to pick seasonal ones, but other than that.
It's such a good deck. I'm no help.
You stop.
It is so pretty though.
It's so pretty.
It hasn't got a full-size guidebook. How important is the guidebook to you?
That size is actually perfect for me. I've only got little hands.
And it's really good.
Okay.
The little messages in here and like the way they interpret the cards. So good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can't start shit talking anything until we start comparing. So what deck did you want to look at next? We will not forget about this deck, trust me.
No, we won't.
Okay. The next one then would be probably the smoke. Is it Smoke Ash and Ember? I can never remember what order it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's grab that one out. Peggy's already pulling it out. Okay, so this one is 42.50 pounds sterling, right?
That's pounds.
Yeah.
So how does that compare to what was it? 50 for what was the other one? 45.
45
US. This is 42. So this one's more expensive, right?
They're all round about the same price in pounds.
Okay. So
and they're all indie decks, which you should know. Because
yes,
you told me that.
Oh, did I? Okay.
Oh, Lisa, let me know up front that these are all indie decks, so we're not really comparing.
I just want that candle. Not helpful, I know. I'm sorry.
It's really pretty, isn't it?
It's really pretty.
Cardstock is similar to This Might Hurt.
This one is on environmentally conscious materials with all kinds of good earth-friendly stuff in there.
How important is that to you?
It's not really important to me, but is it the same cardstock that the Okash and Thorn is on?
Yep. And you already have the Okash and Thorn, and you love it.
I love it.
No.
It's my only indie deck, and it smells so good. And it feels so good, and I love dragons. So it's kind of.
You don't have any other indie decks?
No. Oh my god. Okay, so I'm sorry. Can we just for just a second? These mer dragons are everything.
Oh, they're so cute. I really, 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 and I love it's Adam. I love Adam, and I know he's got another deck coming out in a couple of months as well that I really, really want.
Did you know they're working on an Oracle deck too?
I did not know that.
They are working on an Oracle deck. Look at it. It's so cute.
It is so gorgeous.
So you've got.
I literally know how.
You've got Okash and Thorn.
Yes.
You really, really love dragons. Do you have other decks that have heavy dragons theming and stuff?
I've got a couple of Oracle decks, so I don't really include them and the only tarot one I have is this one, and I don't really like it, to be honest, because the cardstock, I don't mind thin cardstock, but even this is thin for me. And it's quite washed out as well. It's quite a pale.
Okay.
Yeah, I love Lisa's artwork, but that one they switch. The swords are fire and the wands are air in that deck.
Yeah, and it's all back to front. It's very confusing, and it's really, really
bendy.
Yeah, and I really, really like the Okash and Thorn people. I love the 3 Gs people.
It's so great.
It is.
And so
okay, let me just see for a second.
Man, it's so pretty. I have no help at all.
No, you're not.
I don't even know how to make a case against any of these. Would you work with the Smoke Ash and Embers and the Okash and Thorn? Could you see yourself working with them together, or would you think you'd work with them separate?
How do you feel about a card that does
I just asked a question. I just asked a question.
Oh,
wait, never mind. Sorry.
I didn't know that any of them went vertically.
No, that was me. That was my fault.
Oh.
That was all me.
She held it sideways.
I glanced at it and saw the wrong thing.
Oh, okay. That's okay. That was almost that. Well, we're putting that one away.
I scared myself for a second.
Would you work with them together or separate?
I'd probably use them separately, but like, I don't know. Possibly together, possibly separately. They're just too pretty.
Do you ever combine decks like that to use together?
Not at the moment, but I do plan on doing that with the. You just did it. You just did a video on it not that long ago. The Oracle decks.
Illustrated Herbiary, Crystallary, and Bestiary.
No.
Seeker and Messenger and Secret Oracle by Raven
Yes,
Phelan.
that's the one. Yes, I'm just waiting on the new one coming, and I'm putting those together because the backs of those are gorgeous, and they're the same for both decks.
Oh, I have a quick question.
Well,
between this and between this deck and This Might Hurt Tarot, does a part of you think you'll reach for one more than the other?
Like, how often do you use your dragons right now? The dragon deck that you do have, the Okash and Thorn.
Oh, the Okash and Thorns. I use that a lot. I do use this one a lot.
Ooh,
but it's not a dragon deck.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just assumed.
No.
I just go hysterically blind when she brings home a new deck.
No. This one's not. No, this one's like forest animals.
Okay, so how important is being able to how important is it to you that a deck that you reach for a deck more often than other decks? Like
I'd probably be more inclined to reach for this one rather than This Might Hurt, simply because I really, really love dragons, and because my family are Welsh, dragons are a big thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. I really do. I really like that. So I think that would probably edge out. Sorry?
Would you use this to read for your family, do you think? Do you have anybody in your family you read for? You'd be like,
no, I only really read for myself and Emily.
Oh, well, that's fair.
That's all right.
Does Emily like dragons?
Yes, actually, she does. She does.
Oh.
She really loves this deck as well. So
See,
I will say that you got really excited as soon as you saw this. As soon as you even just said this deck, you got way more excited than you did over the This Might Hurt.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I suspect that already we could take this one off the list.
Oh my God, my heart.
Yes. I will allow that. I'll allow that for now. That one I'll allow. It's the next two I'm going to struggle with.
All right. Okay.
And obviously picking one today doesn't mean you can never pick the others.
It's true.
Exactly.
Oh, and that's the other question. Now, that one question I forgot is, and that's probably for Lisa, or are these still are either of these about to go out of print or anything like that? Are they regularly?
So.
No.
Yeah. So,
these are all pretty stable right now, I would say.
So you don't need to.
I agree.
Yeah. So you don't have to worry about that. So I would suggest that we move on with this one.
And eliminate This Might
and
Hurt.
eliminate This Might Hurt. just simply because sorry, but just because of how excited you got when you saw this one, I think this is the one that if you had both of these in your house right now, I think you'd use this one first anyway.
I think so.
Yeah.
The only other point of consideration we haven't brought up about this that may matter later, this one has no book. So how much do you work with a guidebook?
I don't really mind that, because what I did with Okash and Thorn is I just downloaded their, because they've got an online one, haven't they?
They have a digital, yeah,
a digital one. I just printed that out.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
So now we're on to this.
Yeah. So which deck do you want? Which deck do you want to cover next?
We'll go with the panda one. I'll torture myself last.
All right.
Oh, boy. You already know how this is going, do you?
Okay.
Yeah.
Next, you said maybe the regular or maybe the baby. I have both. So do you want to see one or the other? Do you want to see them compare?
With this one, I'd be happy to go with whichever one you would recommend.
You know what? I always recommend the standard size. The only reason I have the baby panda at all is A, because I'm ridiculous, but B, because when I do readings for clients on camera, having these smaller decks is great for bigger spreads. So for the average person who's reading for themselves and friends and not doing things on camera, the standard is perfect.
See, I like this one just because I like smaller decks.
Peggy likes mini things.
Yeah,
also, I like small stuff leaf hands.
Yeah, and there's not a big difference in the price either between them. It's only like, it's either £5 or £10. It's not a huge difference. So
I'd definitely go with the bigger one. And the bigger one also comes with a little deck size guidebook as well.
See, I like that. I prefer smaller just because I've got smaller. I don't know. I don't like shuffling the bigger decks. I just can't hang on.
I do think that with this artwork, because there is a lot of white space around them, that having the bigger card, just the more standard. Hello, can we please focus? Oh, Peggy's face. There we go.
No, your face.
No. There we go. Okay.
There we go.
Oh, Peggy's face moved. There we go.
I need to hide my face.
Yep, no face for you.
I love this one too so much.
Yeah.
The problem with this one is I don't know if I would get to keep this or if Amelia would steal it.
Well, you could do a deck for you
Now,
and a deck for Amelia.
Does Amelia read at all, or is it maybe she's learning?
She's got I bought her the children's one for Christmas and she absolutely loves it. So she's just got this thing, she wants to do whatever I do. So but she saw this one and she was like, "Oh, Mom, I have to have that." And I'm like, "But I want it."
Okay, well, now how well do you and your daughter share? Some kids like to have their own things, and
we don't.
You don't?
I'm the kid that doesn't share.
Okay,
fair.
that's fine.
Fair. That would be me.
So cute.
I will say the neat thing about this is that, and this will drive up the cost, so Peggy needs to know this too, but this one, I feel like if you're going to get this, you really should get the big, you don't need it, but you really should get the big book of pandas that comes with, the set sold separately.
Yeah.
Because it's marvelous. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just saying. But that would, of course, increase the cost. If you thought you were going to get the book or want the book too, that would drive up your cost. So it would make this one probably the most expensive in your list because there's that separate guidebook. But only if that was like I recommend it, but that doesn't mean you need to get it.
See, I wanted to get it since I saw your video on it.
So if you got this, your daughter would be constantly borrowing it. Is that one of the things that
or possibly keeping it from you?
Yeah, that's the only thing that's sort of driving me like away from that one for now.
Yeah, when's her birthday?
December.
Oh, it's a long way to wait.
Yeah.
You could always do the big one.
Yeah,
for
my
you
birthday
and the
is in
baby
December.
one. You could have matchy. Have you thought about that?
Yes. Well, we already have matchy. The Therapets.
Oh,
We both have this.
I think it's so cute. We had the baby version and you had the big version of the Way of the Panda. That would be super.
That's actually a good thought. I like the idea.
I wouldn't normally recommend something like that, but if your daughter is getting excited about tarot and wants to learn it, it might be it might be something to think about. But
later on,
but it's doubling the price, something that you want to think about right now.
It would be a good later thing.
Yeah, maybe a later thing.
I would not.
Oh, we can eliminate it for right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, my
personal thing is I would eliminate it right now if it's going to cause conflict with your kid. That alone, since there's other decks that you do want, I would eliminate just for that alone.
And then for the match.
Can maybe make it for like a summer thing for us to work on togetger when the summer holidays come round.
Yeah, I would plan it as a mother-daughter thing to get her own copy and do it. At the same time.
Get to know it together. That'd be really cool.
I would consider that just because there's no reason not to do that for your daughter and save that as a later project.
Okay. Right, we can eliminate that one for now then.
We're doing good. Holy cow.
Wow, it's only been like 20 minutes. Whoa, you're just flying through this stuff.
These are good decisions.
Okay,
yes.
Okay, but I just want to be just for the sake of the conversation, because other people are watching this for their own reasons. If you didn't have your daughter to consider, would that change your opinion on the Way of the Panda as
I don't know. I think I would probably struggle a little bit more, but I don't have anything like that at all. Really. No, I don't have anything that's just one animal. So
all right, that brings us to our next subject, because technically 3 of these are single animal type things, right? We have dragons, we have pandas, and now we have foxes.
Oh, this is just here we go. Oh no.
This is going to be hard between this, and I knew this is what I was going to come down to. Was I want it.
Tara Renard. Oh my god!
I gotta get my face on it.
There we go. Okay.
No Peggy parts in the
no Peggy parts.
It's tried to refocus on my shoulder.
This is really beautiful. This cardstock is different than both Way of the Panda and Oak, Ash, and Thorn / Smoke, Ash, and Embers. Mine has built up a little bit of a bow, like this way, not like you know what I mean? So mine's a little bit bowed, but it's beautiful. It feels thinner. It's got these gorgeous copper.
I love those.
I kind of like this. It's got three little cheat cards.
Smoke, Ash, and Embers does that too.
Yes.
I don't know.
I like those. They're really just handy to kind of have. Yeah.
Yeah, that fuzzy thing. It's got majors, minors, all 4 suits. It's just got like 3 keywords. It's got very short keywords, like for balance.
Do you care about that, Stevie?
I think it's cool.
Steve's just looking at the artwork. She don't care about the keywords. This one is very
so hard.
Storybook.
It also has a small. It also now it's got a little white book. It's somewhat chunky, but it does have it in English and French.
Yeah, the deck is bilingual in that way.
Yeah.
And there's no titles. There's actually just like a sword symbol and like a number, right?
Right. Yeah.
Is that something you work well with?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm okay. I do this thing, where when I can't sleep, I do the major arcana in order, and then I try and do them backwards if I can't sleep. I'm not very good at backwards.
It's like counting sheep, but like
cards. Okay.
Yeah. This is a gorgeous. This is a gorgeous deck.
Okay, this is a really pretty deck. I remember you showing it to me. I remember how excited you got.
Now this one is also ships from overseas. Actually, I didn't think about that. So this one and Smoke, Ash, and Embers would both be shipping from overseas. So does that make them? The shipping would probably be better. Maybe no.
Yeah, because it's within the EU. Well, I say it's within the EU, but the shipping from France isn't that expensive.
Oh, that's good. And this one, because I know Peggy's going to ask, this one is 45 euros. So they're all fairly equivalent. It's just that one's euros, one's pound sterling, and one's US dollars.
Yeah.
So it's your deck, but it's bowed.
Yeah, it's just, it's, I mentioned it already. Just
okay.
Yeah, it kind of just within right away. That can be a humidity thing, though.
Yeah.
This is the one I lost my dang mind over.
Okay, you brought the deck, so you had to import this deck all the way from France.
Yeah.
And we're going from Europe to the East Coast of North America. So this is.
I don't think this happened in shipping. I think it's a humidity difference.
No, the humidity difference as it ships to the various areas.
I've had it long enough now, though, that it would probably settle. So it could be just a cardstock thing. I don't really mind that, though. It doesn't.
No,
it's shuffleable. It's less stiff feeling than Oak-Ash and Thorn is, if that makes any difference. And it feels
stuff like that can be straightened.
I think the cardstock's technically a little thinner, so I think this is probably. Yeah,
because I struggle a little bit with Oak-Ash and Thorn to riffle shuffle.
This one riffles nicely.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really, really hard to decide because I love Foxies. I really, really love Foxies, but I really, really love dragons.
Yeah, you love dragons.
They have a very different feel, I will say.
My thing is, I have the Fox Peggy bag. So see, this was my thinking. I would need to buy another one for my Oak-Ash and Thorn, but
oh no.
I mean,
this is
not handleable.
So basically, you already have a bag for this one.
Yes.
She'd have to make her Oak-Ash and Thorn naked to do it, though. Is that going to confuse you later when you go to reach for them? No, because it's foxes, right? It's like
But okay, now
dragons, foxes. Is
this going to cause the same conflict with your daughter as the pandas would?
No.
Okay.
No. As long as we don't come out with one with sloths, we'll be fine in that situation.
I'm sure it's coming.
Way the sloth is coming.
Yeah, give it time.
Okay. So this is good. This is difficult. I don't have a lot of questions about the price or budgeting or things like that. Now, do you have anything that's animal themed already in your collection?
Well, most of my decks are animal. I really like the animal decks.
That's like home.
And there's a lot of Foxies in the Oak-Ash and Thorn as well.
But wait, with that in mind, do you have, when it comes to naturally occurring animals and feeling a connection versus mythical animals feeling a connection, if most of your decks are animal decks, do you feel like you would reach for a real world animal based deck more than you would reach for a mythological creature deck?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I really, really like the Smoke, Ash, and Embers. I really, really like that, but I don't know if there's a part of me that wants that just because
gotta collect
the set. Yeah. And
I've heard from at least one person already, just to give this other counterpoint. Sometimes if you love one deck, this happens to me all the freaking time. You love one deck by a creator.
A bad word.
No.
Yes.
You love one thing from a creator, and then what happens when you get another thing by that creator is either the two things kind of do battle in your head, and when you're reaching for one with that feel, you reach for only one of them.
Yeah.
Or you can never love the next one the way that you love the first one. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
I'm kind of like that. Yeah, I'm kind of like that because I have all of Lucy Cavendish's Oracle decks, and I do love them all. And then I'm kind of like, I have no idea which one to use, and just reach for something else.
Yeah.
So,
and if you really love the Oak Ash and Thorn a lot, then these might start to compete in your mind a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, well, here's a question.
What happens?
What happens if you buy a deck, you love the deck, but you just find yourself not using it? Do you? What's your process once you realize that this deck is just for collecting only, and that you're not likely to use it again?
If I really like it, I'll still keep it. But I tend to, if I don't gel with it, I purgatory it, and then it goes on to I do swaps.
Okay.
I do on the swap group.
I'm throwing the cards all over the floor. Okay, so wait. This is a good question. This will help. This always helps. If you found out, if you only had enough money, like you couldn't make it work no matter what, and you found out these were both going out tomorrow, which one are you going to be like, I should have snapped that up before it went out of print? Which one are you going to be the most regretful if you miss?
Probably the Renard.
The Renard. I knew it.
So, okay, yeah. So you do have a bag for that deck. Is that why you bought the bag? Is for the deck?
No, I bought it for the Oak Ash and Thorn.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, because it was the last one as well. And I was like, oh, I have to have it. It's the last one.
Oh boy. And I
mean, I need to buy a new one.
I had I'm pretty sure I had Oak Ash and Thorn, and no, I didn't. I had it in the Tantrum fabric the whole time. What did I don't remember. I think I had this in something else, and then Peggy found this fabric, and yeah. Oh man. I think you would regret Tarot Renard more than you would regret. But she just said it.
Yeah.
Well, sad if she missed out on Tarot Renard, then Smoke Ash.
Well, and you know what? This is going to be a little bit out of left field, but I also think Tarot Renard, because I think that if for any reason you find yourself not using it very much, that your daughter would probably really like it.
Yeah, probably.
You could totally pass it off.
You could totally hey, honey, I got this for you.
Yeah, there you go. I feel like of the two,
I will say that dragon decks, if you look up dragon and tarot's tarot decks has been around for a very long time.
That's true.
Yeah.
If something happens and you lose your chance to get the Oak Ash and Embers, right?
Smoke
Ash and Embers. I'm so bad with this.
No,
if you lose your opportunity to get this deck,
there'll be another dragon deck.
It's almost a certainty that there'll be another dragon deck, and maybe even at better prices.
Well, there is a mass market dragon deck coming out later this year.
I think. But you said you really like foxes, just to like foxes.
Yeah.
And this is probably the only one.
That's the only one I've ever heard of. That doesn't mean
this is the only one there's decks with foxes in them. You've
got but not on its own. Yeah.
Yeah, like she's got you got one deck where one of the suits is foxes.
Yeah.
But this is the only deck that we know of that is the entire deck.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a lot more at home in your collection. If you have a lot of animal decks and those are the decks you tend to feel comfy with, this is going to slide right into that and feel really at home with everything else you have.
This will slide right in. And like I said, dragon decks that are entirely themed around dragons are
not going anywhere.
They're fairly easy. No.
That's a very good point.
But
this is unique that
way.
Well,
and you're getting it from France, so you're not going to pay the same shipping charges. You will save some money.
And you can keep the other on your
Smoke Ash and Embers is UK.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that.
Yep.
Yeah.
This actually these two are
we're back to this again.
No, we're not. So okay, let's confirm. Are you saying yes to the Tarot Renard?
I am. Yes.
Yay! Excellent decision. Are you going to order it like right away? Or are you waiting a little bit?
I'll get it on Wednesday. I get paid on Wednesday, so I'll order it then.
Are you going to do a walkthrough on your YouTube
course.
channel? Hello?
Oh, we didn't ask you about your.
I knew in advance.
Yes, but we usually.
I'm going to do it now.
Oh. Fine.
So Stevie has a YouTube channel called The Quitch Witch Stevie, correct?
It's right there on the
nameplate. Screen, and there's a link in the description box. So make sure you're subscribed to Stevie.
Check the link, subscribe to the channel, check out the stuff.
Are you on Instagram as well?
I am, and it's the.kutch.witch.
Perfect. So we'll have that link down below as well.
How do you say that?
You said Quitch.
Kutch. Kutch like Dutch.
Oh, Kutch?
Ah,
yeah.
Really? Have I been saying it wrong this entire time?
Yep.
It's okay. It's a Welsh word. It's okay.
So basically,
They don't like vowels. It's fine.
so we just treat the W like the U
kutch,
like
the
the
kutch.
W like a U.
Yeah, I mean it's like a cuddle, like a special kind of cuddle that like you only get from like your family or like somebody you really love. It's like a special kind of cuddle. So yeah, I'm the cuddle witch.
Oh, I never asked you this before.
So you're the cuddly witch.
Yes.
Oh my
Nice.
God, my life just got 1,000 times better for that knowledge. That is amazing. I'm gutted that I never asked you how to pronounce it before, and equally gutted that I never asked you what it meant before, because that is darling. I love that so much.
And we learned a Welsh word today.
Kutch, the Kutch witch.
Yeah, we learned a Kutch witch. I bet you that's not how it's spelled in Welsh, but
no, that is how it's spelled.
That's how it's spelled. Yeah, CWCCH. Yeah.
Oh, I thought the Welsh had their own alphabet and stuff.
Yeah.
They
just don't like vowels.
Oh, okay.
I remember studying a lot of the Welsh like deity names a long time ago, and they're like that too. And it's like,
and like double D is pronounced like thing. Yeah, it's very confusing.
Yep.
Yeah, so they do their okay.
That's
but
amazing.
We learned something new.
We all learned, and now we all know that Stevi is the cuddly witch.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Yes,
this was
thank
a ton of
you.
fun. Thank you for bringing all decks that I love.
So this one here from France.
Yay! Oh my God, so much fun. So keep us posted.
This sounds like the one that's best for you.
Yeah,
I agree.
Keep us posted about the walkthrough, and once you have it up, let me know, and I will update the description box to have an actual link to the video itself.
Yeah, so people can see it.
Can find it if they watch this video later. Thank you again so much for coming
Thank
on.
you. Thank you for helping me, because I've really been struggling with those ones for a while, and especially between the last two, I didn't know where I was going to go with that. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Okay, we will talk to you again soon.
Yes, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Hello, Corey. Welcome.
Hi, Peggy. So great to be here.
Yay, thanks for coming on and hanging out with us and letting us spend your money. Yeah, you are brave. Yeah, we're a lot.
My husband is super thrilled that I have someone else to help me spend the money. So
yes. I love
that it's not my money being spent. So we're all good to go. I think I said that to Stevie too.
But you know what? Yeah, we did say that to Stevie. But the funny thing is that you're actually really good at helping people spend money too. You just don't like to admit it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah. She talks people into more than one or the most expensive thing. So you really never know.
But I talk people out of spending money on something that they're going to change their mind on 3 seconds after they get it.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah,
so
there's value to be had here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right. So
it's not about me today.
It's not. Do you have what is your goal for today's deck? Like, are you looking for a certain type of deck? Or do you have a budget? Like, what's the starting off deal?
I don't really have too much of a budget. I like to keep my decks under $30. I just can't justify spending more than $30 on a deck. But of course, I recently got the embroidered Graveyard Oracle, which was more than $30 on Kickstarter. But that's just a rarity for me. So I try to keep it, low. And then I also have a need for instant gratification. So that's why all my decks are from Amazon. I want to get it as quickly as possible.
Gotcha. Okay, was that your first indie deck?
Yes.
Ooh. So have you got it yet?
Yeah, I've got it. Yeah.
Ooh, maybe you'll be bitten by the indie deck bug. We'll see. But your budget makes sense, actually.
Yeah,
it's paper. It's honestly at the end of the day.
It's yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
No. Wait, hold on.
Okay then. So
never mind what I just said.
Do you collect for the sake of collecting, or do you have any personal rules about how useful a deck has to be from the like some people won't buy a deck if they won't be using it. Some people love to collect. Where do you stand on all that?
I'm kind of both. So I like to collect and I like to collect in my certain style. So I've curated about 35 different decks that are like in my style and are also useful to me when that mood arises. So
perfect.
So you like to so there's a bit of a theme.
Yeah. So I'm big into like darker stuff. I love other cultures, other I live in Appalachia, or Appalachia. There's a saying that, you know, if you're native and you say it Appalachia, they're going to throw an Appalachia. So,
Okay.
um,
Hi, come here, baby.
Oh, is he coming on camera with us?
oh my gosh, I'm blessed by Bruno.
You're blessed by Bruno.
Now that
That'll
he's
be
in
fine.
Peggy's lap, though, he's not going anywhere. What is happening?
You're being
right
rewarded
now?
for petting him.
Aw.
Hi.
Okay,
Okay.
anyway.
Sorry, we had asked you about your style, and you were telling
Yes,
us.
we did ask, and we did try, and so
Yeah,
you like
yeah. So my style is pretty much just like, I don't know, like, I wouldn't say gothic, you know, it's just more eclectic, I guess.
Yeah.
okay.
Okay,
like,
I get you.
Just very, like, I like witchy things, and, you know, like I've got, hold on, like this stuff in the background, you know, like that kind of
Nice.
aesthetic. So,
Okay.
Okay, so with that in mind, you have a list of 4 decks today. Do you
Yep.
have a preference on which one we dip into first here?
I think we should save the first one on my list for last, because that's going to be the hardest one for me, I think.
Okay, I think I know which one that is. So, do you want to work bottom to top then?
Sure, let's do it.
So, Universal Folk Oracle, this is a mass market Oracle deck. And this is really, I feel like I've seen this before. I can't remember who was talking about it. Somebody was talking about it.
Yeah, I
This
don't
is
know.
cool.
I don't think it was on one of your hot takes or anything like that, but I
don't
do
think so
remember
either.
somebody talking about it, and that's why
Oh,
I
this
added it to my list.
This one has like an Egyptian kind of feel to it. But then this one
Yeah.
looks almost like
Byzantine,
Celtic, or
yeah.
like, this looks like almost Welsh to me.
So I think the idea behind the deck is that they took different cultures and tried to make it folksy, like
Yeah.
and I really like that. I like the folk style, you know, based on like where I live in my region and everything like that. I'm big into folk practices and stuff like that. So
Okay.
That makes a lot of sense. So do you mentioned you have a fairly small kind of curated deck collection. Of those, do you use Oracle decks a lot?
I do. There's one Oracle deck I use the most, and I think it's something like the Ancestors Oracle. I could grab it real quick.
Sure, yeah, if you want to share.
It's the Angels and Ancestors Oracle
Kyle
cards.
Gray.
I just really like the messages it has, and it
Yeah.
helps me kind of focus for the day. Like, this is the energy I want to bring in for the day.
I love that.
So that's kind of like, and I'm not, so Oracle cards, I try to keep them more positive
Yeah.
than having like
Okay.
the shadow stuff, because I'm not really ready for the shadow stuff yet.
That's completely fair.
Okay.
And honestly, Oracle decks do a good job of this. Does this one though? Let's take a peek. So we have Peaceful, Tranquility, Higher Self, Peace, Evolve, Ascension, Ascended Masters, Oneness, Guides, Spiritual Support. So yeah, these seem like they're leaning more positive. So that's good then. Confidence.
Yeah.
This one seems kind of nurturing and kind of like a hug deck, but not one that looks like too fluffy, if that makes any sense.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like it feels really earthy. And for me, I'm very airy. I'm an Aquarius. So a lot of times will get in my head about things and kind of flit around and not land on a particular thing. So earthly
Okay.
decks, I feel, are really helpful.
Oh, that's good to know.
Okay. Now, do you have anything in your collection already that puts off a similar vibe to this deck?
No, not that I can think of. I'm looking behind me. No, not, I think some of the messages might be repetitive to other decks that I have, but the
Okay.
art style is definitely
Yeah.
different. And, I don't really have anything folksy like this either.
Okay.
Do you work with tarot and oracle together?
I do sometimes.
Okay.
Would this one then match up with stuff you've got now, or could you see yourself using this with stuff you already have, kind of thing?
I don't know if I have anything that would really match up like aesthetically with it, like tarot wise. But I think that, I don't know. I think I might see this one as a deck that I would just draw one card rather than working with tarot and oracle, because I'm kind of in the season of my life right now where I'm trying to get as much out of something in the shortest amount of time, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And so all my decks are Amazon decks, you know, like I'm in for the instant gratification kind of thing.
I love that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't do big spreads. I don't, you know, really spend too much time. And I have 2 kids. So, you know,
yes,
like
Okay.
having alone time can be difficult sometimes. And usually if I try to sit down to do a big spread, it's always like, Mom, I need something. I need to eat.
Right.
You know,
So
and it's
single
like,
card
gotta
draw
feed
decks
them.
are actually- Yeah, so those kinds of
Okay.
decks where you can just draw a card at
Okay.
a time are good for you then.
Well, then
Yeah.
let's do the thing because there's nothing to compare with yet. So let's kind of hold on to this thought for a minute and then move on to the next deck and see where, because we for most of the time we kind of find that we do the elimination challenge and see what's still left.
That's
So
okay.
let's I know.
I have to don't touch it. Don't touch him. Sorry, Bruno.
Yeah, take a picture. Take a picture.
He's letting his tongue out. Just
He's just like I'll show you. Hold on. I have to look at this goober.
Oh my gosh.
he's just laying here.
I was so distracted. I'm so sorry.
He's just laying here. As long as I continue to gently pet him, he will just lay here beside me in a vegetative state, and he's just laying there with his tongue sticking out.
He's living the dream. I tell
He
you.
is. He's all blissed out.
My belly.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So next deck.
Yes, what would you like to look at next?
Let's see what the next deck. How it
I guess
compares.
the healing oracle. I don't remember the exact
Got
name.
it.
So you have
Healing Energy Oracle. Let's share
Yeah.
that one.
So you have 2 Oracle and 2 Tarot decks.
Yeah.
In your collection, how are your decks sorted out? I'm sorry. How many Oracle versus how many Tarot do you have in your collection right now?
I think I have a pretty even number. So I started collecting tarot first, and then I kind of wanted something that gave me a little bit more than what tarot could give me and kind of diversify the messages a little bit.
Okay.
So that's why I kind of dipped into Oracle. So right now, out of the 35 decks, I think it's a pretty even split.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you could go either way today and it's going to be fine because you're not feeling over in one over the other or anything.
Okay.
Right. And I honestly feel like I could collect more Oracle than Tarot just because I feel like Tarot is Tarot, you know?
That can be for a lot of people.
Yeah.
For sure on that one. Okay, this is the Healing Energy Oracle.
It's almost like light beams making shapes. Like the new opening one is almost like a light beam making like a gateway or a portal or like even a book opening with like light coming out of it. And then there's like a heart one. And then like this almost tree one with the golden orange in the top left there. This is really pretty. And then it's got the messages right on the cards. Is that something you enjoy working with? It sounds like it kind of fit well with your lifestyle.
Oh yeah, definitely. I prefer, especially for Oracle, to not have to read the book. Like I don't want to have to memorize each and every Oracle card. And I have some animal oracles that don't have the keywords on it, and I never use them because I need the keywords. I don't know what badger means. I need,
right.
and I don't want to read the book.
Yeah, that is a problem with Oracle.
Yeah.
With some
yeah.
decks.
So this kind of reminds me of, I don't know if you remember those old media players on your computer that used to put out the waves with the sound.
Yeah.
Yes. I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh my God, now I can't get that out of my head. That's an amazing analogy. Yeah, it's like where you would have all these really cool images as you were playing music that would match with the beat and stuff.
Now it looks like comparing the first deck to the second deck.
They have very different feels.
They have very different feels energetically, but it looks like the first deck you can like kind of pick up a message from the art, and this you don't. In these cards, you'll get a cool image and you can read the message, but would you pick up anything from the images themselves?
See, and that's kind of like, I think I would. I think I would feel kind of like what I was saying with the music and the waves that would come with the music. Like I could interpret kind of like what kind of wavelength is this card on, you know, kind of thing, from the messages and through the image. I feel unless they don't like I'm seeing like one right there that with the heart, unconditional love, like that makes sense. You know,
Yeah.
that it appears to be a heart and there's kind of like almost like a beam of light coming from the center of it.
Yeah.
So depending on how well they do with the artwork and the messages and kind of getting them kind of the same, like I don't know, like looking at a new opening, I don't know if that artwork really talks about new opening to me. It kind of almost looks like closed doors to me a little bit.
Yeah.
To me, it looks like the door is just starting to open or just starting to crack
Open
open,
back
and
up.
the beam of light is like coming forward.
Yeah, that could be.
It's really interesting.
So, sorry. And I found this oracle watching one of those tarot readers online on YouTube. I can't remember his name, but I do know it was a male YouTuber. But I really enjoyed the messages that I got in my reading, you know, the general readings that they do on YouTube. So I thought that this might be a fit for me. And then I'm also kind of on a healing journey. I suffered from trauma a few years ago. So I'm kind of working my way towards kind of putting the pieces back together after that.
Right. Okay.
This one feels really supportive. And when you mentioned that you want an oracle deck that you can like, or you want a deck where you can pull a card and like, you know, have a quick moment of like reflection in a day that's otherwise really busy and you're likely to get interrupted, and something like this where like you've got this like beautiful artwork, but then you've got this really like loving, supportive message with it. Sounds like it'd be like it would slide right into that practice.
Yeah, sounds like it'd work well, because contemplating a different culture through the other one, the universal folk has got it represents a lot of different cultures and gives you a lot to think about that way, but it doesn't really seem as personal.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's got like it's groups of keywords, so you could definitely read it.
Yeah,
like,
you could definitely work with that.
But this one has like a message that you can just read and kind of take in, which feels like it fits with what you describe your practice looks like right now.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like even with the folk oracle, I don't know if I would be familiar with those cultures and what they're trying to represent for me on the card.
Yeah.
And I'd be losing a lot of that message because, you know, there's only a few keywords where I would probably want to know more about, okay, why this headdress, or why this war paint, or why are rabbits important?
Well,
it's almost like it would come with, that one would come with a guidebook, but
you mentioned not wanting to have to read the guide. I think you okay. Like, I mean, I saw the one and I'm like, oh, okay, that's Tibetan, but it's also like, well, if you don't know that, what are you going to pick up from the card?
Right.
And if you don't want to, and if you're not, if you said you've got kids and you're busy, if you don't have the time to look that up, and even if you do, you're not necessarily going to, you know, you pick a card, you look it up. You forget what the meaning was. Now you got to go look it up again. This is already all on the card.
Yeah.
And you like your instant gratification. I think the Universal Folk Oracle is probably not for you, at least not right now.
Yeah. I'd probably agree with that.
I think between the two oracles,
I like
the healing energy wins out totally.
I like the art on the Universal Folk Oracle. Me too. I actually like the art better.
Yeah.
But for what you've said you're trying to get out of it, I think you'll get more of healing energy, because it's just here's the card, here's the message, one and done.
Yeah.
And then you can get on with your day, and it's there, complete, no extra work required if you need to refresh yourself.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's the better choice for. I think that is. If you agree, then that's fine. If not, then we can.
Would you be comfortable between these two oracles, kind of narrowing down to just the universal, or sorry, just the healing energy?
That's
oracle?
my recommendation right this minute, because I don't think you're going to get a lot out of the Universal Folk Oracle is going to take more work than you're saying you want to put into it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think we can narrow it down to the healing. The healing oracle.
The healing energy one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So we'll keep that one on the list for now. So that's the like winning oracle on your list, I guess, because the other two are both tarot, right?
Yep.
Okay. So do you want to do we're just continuing to work up the list?
Yeah.
All righty. Okay, so then let me grab the next one.
Now we're on to tarot.
So this is the Ghosts and Spirits Oracle. This is by Lisa Hunt. Hello. Wow, you guys. There we go.
There it is.
I have this, so I brought it so we can look at the images, because I feel like this one is going to be hard to look at the images on.
I don't know where you put it.
The listing. It's beside me. It's right here. So tell us a little bit about like how this one ended up on your list and like what you think about it and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, so I'm big into spooky. I like, I have several pendulums. My husband doesn't let me have a Ouija board, so I don't really speak to spirit.
Yeah.
But that kind of freaks him out a little bit. So,
Fair enough.
but I feel like a tarot like this is kind of like I can still get that kind of spirit energy kind of coming through without my husband worried about me inviting something in or not knowing who I'm talking to, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Right,
for
okay.
sure. So you can kind of work with the energy, but not not feel like it's like going into places that you're not comfortable
Now, is
with.
that something that you have a lot of opportunities to do now with what you've got?
No. So I have other spooky tarot decks. Like I have the zombie tarot. I have the Halloween tarot deck I actually gave to my daughter. So I have other, I have the embroidered graveyard oracle. So I've got other spooky decks, but none that really are focused on just spirit and spirit energy.
So we can see a little bit more of the artwork. This is.
Can I see that star again?
You bet.
That's my card. And so I'm like, if I don't get along with the star, then I don't want it. And I like this star.
It's really, really a beautiful deck. It's prettier when it stays focused. There we go.
Yeah.
It's really gorgeous. It's really interesting to me because this deck has these like parchment backs and everything. And then you flip the deck over and that's the backs. It's like bright white with these ghosties. It doesn't like totally doesn't match at all.
Yeah, the style is kind of different. I don't know if I like that.
Yeah, that's a bit of a weird thing about this deck, but man, the art is beautiful. But this is Lisa Hunt. It's very detailed.
It's definitely about working with spirit.
Yeah, it can be. And in the guidebook for this one, there is actually like for every card, there is a little bit about. So you said the star card is your favorite, right? So you want to hold those. I'll just find what it says as an example, so you know kind of what you're getting into with this one. So the star, like it's actually for a little white book, it's pretty substantial.
Okay.
And the star says these are cloud people, Shiwana. It says the Pueblo Indians believe that everything was animated by a life force. It was thought that the deceased joined the ethereal beings in their otherworldly domain up in the sky. Ceremonial dances were performed to invoke the spirits of the cloud people, or Shiwana, a group of supernatural spirits who brought rains. The weather spirits respond to the call for rain. Magical nimbi, reflecting their radiance and carrying nourishing rains, accompany their journey through the sky. Souls can be seen swirling around them, connecting conscious desire with unconscious dreams. And then there's like a divinatory message, but like that's how much you get for the card. But man, this artwork is so pretty. I'm not helpful because I like this one.
Yeah, because you have it. So
I have it, but
I have a question. So in your opinion, does the artwork match the energy of the card? Because I feel like if it doesn't match the energy of the card, then I wouldn't want it.
It does. I feel like though it's a deck that you'd want to spend time getting to know. There's some that are super obvious. Like that last one was like is a really obvious judgment card. So this one works really, really well. Hello, come on.
I'm in the camera.
No, it wasn't you. It's the proximity. But yeah, so that's really great because it's the heart against the feather. It's like an obvious judgment reference. But a lot of the other ones, like here's the Two of Pentacles. It doesn't speak right away to the Rider-Waite
You gotta
Smith.
get in front of my face. For some reason, it wants to focus on me.
It likes you. The camera loves you.
You're so beautiful. That's why.
I am. It's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's a Two of Pentacles. So you can kind of see, like, I don't think it's one that you pull out of the box and it's immediately apparent what you're looking at.
Well, that's an interesting question because, I mean, you mentioned you're busy, you have 2 kids. This deck does look like it comes with a learning curve just to get into the swing of it.
I would agree. Yeah.
Like, I mean, it looks like this deck is all about tapping into the spirit. So do you have the time for that?
Yeah, that's kind of like what I'm thinking is I have a feeling that if I get this deck, I'm going to want to read the guidebook because it provided so much more information about what was being depicted.
Yep.
And I really like for my tarot cards to do that so I can make a better connection. But also it's like, do I have the time to do that?
Yeah. I think this one is very guidebook dependent, at least in the beginning.
I think this is a deck that you're really going to like based on what you said about, like, you know, working with spirit, working like that. But you also mentioned being so busy right now with the kids. I don't think this is the deck for you to have right now.
I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like it doesn't fit with your lifestyle because you would
Yeah,
have to sit
like-
and spend time with it. Whereas,
Like, how old are the kids now? Like, maybe when they're a little older and need you a little less?
Well, 16 and 8. So I've got a big age range.
Yeah,
which means
so
you get drama
maybe
over
when-
here, but a different kind of drama over here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so maybe when the
exactly.
8-year-old is a little older and is more independent and that sort of thing, that might change. But no, I would say that this strikes me, based on what you said, this strikes me as a deck that you would really, really enjoy.
But that needs time.
But you don't have the time for it.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking that you don't have the time for this deck right now.
Yeah, I think I agree. It's like, it's between this, especially in the Oracle we were talking about, like this one I would say requires even more work than the Universal Folk Oracle would. There's no keywords on it. There's nothing. So some of the art, yeah, you're going to go, that's the Judgment card. That's the Tower. But a lot of them, I think you're going to feel like you're not getting anything unless you're working with the little guidebook, at least initially while you get to know it. So yeah, I don't.
Well, and when you're trying to dig a little deeper when you're trying to dig a little deeper, then you're going to spend more time with each card, contemplating it.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah.
I think you'd really, really enjoy the deck, but I think there'd be some frustration just because you're too busy to really dive into it.
I agree.
Yeah.
But,
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think I would be frustrated with myself because I couldn't give it the time that I would want to give it. And that would just kill me because, I already have so many decks that are just sitting on the shelf that I don't give enough time for. So really to add one more would just be an injustice, I feel.
I totally understand that feeling.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is the deck to put on your later list once you do have more time. But
like if I don't know, the kids are going off to summer camp or something, you're like, I'm gonna have this dedicated time to really spend quality time and get to know this or dive deep.
I don't know what I would do with an 8 and a 16-year-old. Like that's like they both have their own, and it's not like
two different worlds.
It's not like you can go, oh, you guys need this, let's do this together. Okay, now you're both done, and I have time for. It's like you don't even get that.
You get pulled in different directions. I'm quite
exactly.
sure.
Yeah. I would
table this one.
I would keep this. I would keep this desk. I would keep it on your list, but like this is for your list in 2 years from now,
or whenever you feel like you have
or
time.
like maybe once the kids are back, like. Maybe once all the school stuff is all sorted. I don't know if you're still doing lockdowns in your area and all that stuff, but once you have a little bit, once you have that chunk of time that you can be pretty confident that you can dedicate every day or whatever, like
or at least a smaller
more
chunk.
you time.
Yeah, more you time for sure.
Yeah, maybe if once I get better at my time management skills and things like that, and because like right now. My house is a mess. I need to take care of my house and things like that and take care of the kids. So I think maybe once I figure out more of a better time management plan, then I can.
But you know what? That doesn't happen till the kids are older because the kids, especially the 8-year-old, they're growing and changing so fast that every 6 months it's like you have a new kid.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, that's what it was like with me, with the boys, with us, like.
They were older by the time I came.
Yeah, but still, it's like every 6 months, it's like, oh, they need this now. Oh, they need that now. Oh, they need this now. It's like, what happened to the whole? Hey, let me just turn on the cartoons for you for 20 minutes. Like,
I know.
Everything. Just as soon as you get into a routine, it's changing again. So
yeah.
Don't worry, it gets better.
Now, when they move out, right?
Which they will do someday.
I know.
Maybe way beyond when you think they will.
But see, that makes me sad. So I don't want to think about them moving out. I've already got in my mind. I'm like, they're going to live with me forever. So,
of course they are. Yeah. They're never gonna move out. Things are gonna be perfect. It's awesome. It's just the way it goes until you wake up one day and go, oh right, he moved out.
Oh no.
Then you give it a few months and you go, yeah, they moved out.
There's a transition.
There's a transitional period where you're a little bit sad about it. Then there's that period where you're going, no, this is a good thing, and I'm happy about it.
No, this is fine. Yeah.
But
yeah.
I mean, and I would never. I mean,
it's not a never say never thing. It is a never say never thing because I feel like
something could change in your day-to-day world. Where something could change in the day-to-day world in the next 3 weeks. Where suddenly it's
easy to just go sit time.
Your 16-year-old gets a part-time job across the street, no effort on your part. Oh, extra time there. Your 8-year-old has a best friend over at the friend's house every day. Oh, more time for you.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know. Things change rapidly at those ages, and so you could find yourself in a very short period of time having more than enough time.
Yeah, I think my vote is to keep it on your list, but just not for right now.
I like the deck, so it's really hard for me to say no.
But like you're in charge. Like, what do you think? Does that sound like it's aligning for you?
Oh yeah, for sure. I definitely think so, and I think that still the healing energy oracle is still, beating them out of the running.
Yeah, well, and
it's just too easy.
And it does bring something to the table that you're looking for.
That specific healing vibe.
So,
yeah.
You're not losing anything by not. Yeah. So we're still on Healing Oracle. So let's take a look at the last one and see which one ends up winning.
Alrighty, let's see what we got here. The last deck is the Egyptian Tarot. Oh, is this are these gold cards or are these like regular parchment looking back cards?
I think they're just regular parchment looking back.
They're really cool looking. Okay. Let's see if I can make the artwork actually bigger. That's as big as we get.
Okay. That's okay. That's fine.
This is
pretty. But I'm big into Egyptian stuff. I've ever since I was a kid, I've been into Egypt and all things Egyptian. Like The Mummy is one of my favorite movies ever.
Yeah.
Do you have any other Egyptian themed decks now?
I do not. And actually, that's what's interesting about this deck is I used to have it. This was actually my very first tarot deck that I ever got. My husband and I were visiting Little 5 Points in Atlanta. It's a very eclectic kind of neighborhood. And we went into one of the metaphysical shops there and I found it and I bought it. And then I let it sit in a desk because I didn't know how to read tarot at that time. And I didn't put the energy into, there's a theme. I didn't put the energy into learning the tarot. So I ended up giving it to my mentor and boss, and she has it now. So ever since now that I know how to read the tarot, I'm like, man, I really wish I still had that old tarot deck the first one I bought. So
so is
that's
this
why this one's so difficult. Is because
is this one more like nostalgia because it was your first deck? Are you drawn to work with it as a tarot? Do you feel?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'll work with it a lot. Right now, the tarot that I work with the most is the Dark Woods Tarot, and I definitely feel like this and the Dark Woods Tarot could kind of be like my two workhorse decks. Because I feel like I know what the card stock is like. I know what the images look like. I feel like I could add the tarot training wheels on the bottom of it with silver Sharpie, So this is definitely just something really special to me. And I think I also have that connection with my mentor and boss too, for us both to have the same tarot deck, I think would be really cool. And she used to be a professor of mine back in college, and she used to read tarot for the students. So it's a cool connection that I would have with my mentor to kind of have this deck again. And we're both big into Egypt. We're like, we're going to go to Egypt someday, I swear.
Oh, cool.
Now, how do you feel about the fact that there would be a bit of, it seems to me that there would be a bit of a learning curve as you match each image to the deck. But like you mentioned, being able to add your keywords in and stuff like that.
Yeah, because it's a little pippish for sure, this one.
I mean, we just said that ghosts and spirits wasn't necessarily a good fit because of the time required.
That one requires more of a reading the book. I do think the difference here is that it's not about the book so much as familiarity with the actual cards themselves. Like
it sounds like you're already familiar with the cards. Like
I am just on a base level, not on a deep level. So by any means, because I would whenever I would read with this tarot back when I had the little white book out for me to read with. This was back when I only had one child and she was very tiny, so I could put her in a bouncy seat and, she'd be fine and I could do my tarot. But like I said, I didn't know tarot well enough and I would get frustrated having to read the book. So the pips don't really bother me too much. I don't have any tarot with pips. So that would be something new that I don't know, once I get into it, I might not like it. But it's so hard to say no to this deck because it's so sentimental. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the thing, is
Yeah.
like figuring out how much of the desire to have it is sentimental, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But how much of it is sentimental versus how much of it is a deck you see yourself using? Like, could you see yourself getting this, putting it in a drawer again, but just being content to have it because of the connection to your mentor, and still ultimately wanting another deck that you're going to play with more? Does that make sense? Or do you see yourself playing with it, being excited to play with this when it comes in?
See, I think I don't think I would let it sit in a drawer. And the reason why is because I have other Egyptian theme books, and like I have the Book of the Dead that my brother gave to me. And I have other books of Egypt and mummies and things like that I would love to just sit and look and compare the hieroglyphs. Like, that's how I see myself kind of using this. It's like,
okay. It's got like it's kind of got you geeking out. Like, I can tell you're getting your geek on right now.
Okay,
like, you're like, okay, I want to put on all my Egypt stuff and like really dig into this.
Has your mentor used those cards to give you a reading?
That's a good question.
No, she hasn't. No.
Okay. Because that would be that's too bad, because that would be the thing. It's like, if your mentor used those cards to give you a reading and you went, oh yeah, I get that. That, then you would know. Then you would know beyond all shadow of a doubt. It's like, oh yeah, because but
it sounds to me like, if you get it though, it almost sounds like if you get it, like you're not going to be sad about it regardless, because you'll enjoy the process of playing with it a little bit.
Okay, if you in school, this is relevant. In school, if you were taking a class on something that you really enjoyed, were your marks in that class significantly higher than the rest of your classes?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I know exactly where you're going.
It was your memory and retention significantly better than in other classes.
Absolutely, yes.
So when people start talking about Egypt, if I told you a blurb about Egypt, oh, did you know blah about Egypt? And I tell you something about Egypt that you've never heard before. And if I were to say, oh, did you know blah? How long do you think you would remember that fact?
I would remember that years down the road.
Okay, you need to get that
I just soak it in like a sponge.
You need to get this deck, because this deck,
I know exactly where you're going. I love your brain.
Okay. If you have some, I don't know what there's probably a word for it, but when you are really, when something you love meets something that you love, your ability to remember it, retain it, recall it, and use it effectively goes way up.
Yes.
Wait, my hand is over here. Goes way up. So, I mean, you still remember details about this deck from when you had it 16 years ago, you said?
Yeah. I feel like back then I was wanting to just read tarot, and the Egyptian part was just a cool addition to me getting into tarot. But now I feel like the tarot part is the neat extra part, because I feel like even if I don't have the time, I would feel more like I'm playing with the deck and not really trying to focus and get messages from the deck, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's almost like, it's like in this particular deck, it's Egypt forward. Like tarot's almost in the back seat a little bit.
Yeah.
Whereas with other decks, or with your time with this one before, it was more like tarot forward and the Egypt was in the back seat.
Right. Exactly.
But it's a balancing act, because if you have a deck that you don't connect with, you're not going to remember anything.
Yes, I was going to say, because like that's what you made me think of when you made the question, when you asked the question before, was like, if you are excited to learn or to integrate what you know about Egypt and kind of dive into it from that angle, chances are
you'll remember both better.
Your retention of tarot will go through the roof, because you're working with a theme that excites you and that's memorable to you. Like she was saying.
How long have you been working with tarot?
Oh, it's only been like 3 years, I think, and not very long at all. Like I had the trauma thing happen, and then I kind of went on a spiritual journey, and that's when I got introduced to the tarot again and really started getting into it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and so, in a general sense, if I were to hold up a card, would you be able to pop off with one generalized keyword about it?
Yeah, let's try. Go ahead.
Oh, that's a terrible.
Oh, is that it? No, it's not. Okay. This is a great deck for that. This is a great deck for that. Okay. Ace of Cups.
Oh, that's a hard one, but I feel like Ace of Cups is more about emotional fulfillment, and
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
is that right? I
That's
don't
all we
know.
need.
Yeah, that makes
Six
sense.
of
Aces
Wands.
are hard for me. Aces
Aces are
and
Aces are hard.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
big energy. Yeah.
Six of Wands.
6 of Wands.
6 of Wands. So that one would be um kind of like you're a champion in the battle. You know, you've gotten your laurels and you're being celebrated.
Get your Egyptian deck.
Yeah.
You already know the tarot. You marry the two, and you're going to be an expert like that.
That's what I think too.
Oh, I'm over here snapping.
She's
Yeah.
being all excited. Yeah, I think that's a really good choice because you already know enough. And like you said, you could add keywords to it with Tarot with Training Wheels if you want to. And but regardless of that,
your retention will be so much higher for both. Because you said yourself, okay, my thinking is going off in a slightly different tangent, okay, because there's no need to discuss budget because you already thought about that and all the decks are within your price range.
Yeah.
You don't have a huge collection and you're not going to be heartbroken about having one more deck. There's no thing that you need to do there. This hand is like off screen and all you see is this finger poking through every now and again. Anyway, but you've got the kids, you're busy.
Yeah.
You need to learn quickly.
Yeah.
And if you combine, you need to learn quickly. Tarot is your interest right now.
Yeah.
And I know you enjoy Oracle as well, but you marry Egyptology with tarot. You already have the basics of tarot under your belt and you're good to go. So as soon as you put these two together, your learning process with this deck is going to be so fast.
I agree. I completely agree.
It's going to be so fast because it's matching things that you already enjoy
and are interested in.
Yeah. And it might even make it might even really improve your practice with your other decks as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something that I didn't think about, is definitely using the other decks as well, you know, learning and increasing that knowledge. The other thing I was thinking about was when I do get those interruptions, when I'm using regular tarot and it's very tarot forward and it's very like, I need to get this message and everything, and an interruption comes, I feel like I completely lost my place, like almost like I'm reading a textbook or something. Whereas I feel like with this one, it's more like play. So I can easily be interrupted. It's kind of like building a puzzle. You know, you do a puzzle and you put a piece in and then you walk away and then you come back and the puzzle pieces are still there where you left them.
Right.
And that's how I feel about this one.
I think that because you already have a basic grasp of tarot, and okay, basic is in the eye of the beholder because it's still better than I've got, right? But you already have a grasp of what all the cards mean. You're super into Egyptology, so putting those two together is going to really enhance. You're going to have a deck that you're really going to enjoy because you're going to get your geek on for that.
Yep.
Your kids can interrupt you 20 times and it's not going to be as frustrating because, like you said, it's like a puzzle. You step away, you come back, it's still there, and you know where everything is.
Yeah.
I think that this particular deck is going to be a great learning tool for you, where you're going to learn without even having to learn.
And then it's going to just become a workhorse where you can just throw cards down quickly and get your message quickly because you're going to bond with it differently because it already has the sentimental, it already has the topical interest for you.
Well, and you know what? You already have somebody in your life with the exact same deck to reach out to. To bounce ideas off. If you get, hey, I was looking at this and I was thinking this. Do you agree?
Yeah. Or I found this hieroglyph match and it's so cool. What do you think? You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I think that this deck is the deck for you to get right now.
Yep.
Yay! I'm so excited.
Because you also mentioned that you're more into Oracle right now just because you don't have to work as hard at it.
Yeah.
This
solves that problem for you.
This solves that problem. It's not going to feel like work. You're going to learn a ton about the tarot.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to apply it to all your other decks as well.
Yeah. Okay. So official question time. Are you saying yes to the Egyptian tarot?
Yes.
Hooray. That's amazing. Yeah. I think you're going to have a lot of fun. I hope you report back. Maybe, I know you don't have a YouTube channel or anything like that, which is awesome, but maybe if you're comfy, you could share a little bit about your experience after you've gotten it. Maybe in the Supporting Tarot Facebook group or something. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'm a member of the Facebook group, so I'll definitely share on there.
That'd be
Yeah,
amazing. Make
maybe
some
we can
pictures.
maybe since we can't add a link, maybe we can add a quotable quote to the description once you have it. And you've worked with it
Yeah,
for a
something
few
you
days.
shared about your experience. We can definitely
Yeah.
pop that into the description box for
Yeah,
people.
but
Or you
that's
can comment on the video or whatever. you know?
yeah, it's interesting because this is like this really had nothing to do with the collectability. It had nothing to do.
No, wasn't a price decision.
It wasn't a price decision. It was just
Yeah.
a
What's good for Corey, you know?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
makes sense for you.
I think you are really going to connect to this deck now that you know tarot. Now that I think you're going to really connect to this deck on a lot of levels. And you've already got a mentor in your life that I'm assuming would be perfectly happy to discuss this particular deck with you anyway.
Yeah.
So you never have to feel like you're going to get stuck.
Yeah.
Which is always nice. If you're
it just ticks a lot of boxes.
It ticks. Yeah. It ticks all your boxes. And I think you'll find that once you're using this, once you have this deck, you'll be using your other decks more as well because it'll be easier. It'll be the connection's already there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everything she said.
Yep.
I completely agree.
That's cool. I'm
No,
glad
but this was a fun one. We don't. I'm glad
you picked a deck that you like.
Me too.
Yeah. Well, thank you both so much. This was so helpful. I had so much fun. I was worried that I wouldn't have enough to say because I'm not a speaker person. I'm not, I don't have a YouTube channel. I'm usually very straightforward and very logical. So I didn't know if I would have enough to really go off of, other than I just like it.
I mean, the questioning is for.
Yeah, that's what the interrogation round is. Yeah, you did amazing. Thank you so much for sharing all your thoughts.
Oh, yeah, thanks for coming on. I know with you. A lot of people that come on here have their own channels, and I know that takes a little bit next level up in courage for somebody who doesn't have a channel to this is my first time on camera, look at me. So thank you for being willing to do this. It was fun to talk to you and help you sort that out.
Keep us posted for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, keep posted.
All right, well, we will talk to you soon.
All right, Corey, talk to you then.
Goodbye, internet.
Bye, Corey. Bye, internet.
Bye.
Okay, and then now let's say goodbye.
Bye. Did you click the bell?
Wait.
Did you? Did you click it?
Thank you guys for watching.
Before you leave, click shit. Leave a comment.
Okay, this was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Say, Peggy, you are fucking awesome. I love it.
Thank you so much to our guests.
Just click shit.
Okay, thanks guys, and
click shit.
Thanks for watching, and may your magic always
shine
from the inside out. Bye.